checked out Hunt, Horrors of the Gilded Age, a new third-person shooter.
Trailer. Game is set in the 1800s and is described as a flying multiplayer experience on
Austin was making a web-based game called Hunt, and the idea was you had 4 friends go in, cooperative play, randomly generated levels. It was pretty bare bones back then, but they had a playable level, and that's what we showed.
4-player versus environment, third person, so it was a very different game. It was more like Left 4 Dead, an action brawler, you just blaze your way through zombie hordes.
You're shooting everything in your way, and you're very much on a track, moving forward, trying to get to the next pace.
They worked their asses off on that, and they've produced some really, really fantastic stuff.
Crytek went through, let's say, difficult time, so we had to restructure the company.
Unfortunately, that meant the closure of the Austin studio, and we moved Hunt then back to Frankfurt, where the main offices are. It took us, I think, 3 to 4 months to look at the game, look at the potential of the game, getting into the designs, getting into the implementation, seeing to what level we could take it. There was a game there. It was just a very different game to what the core competency in Frankfurt has been.
4 days ago, NASA picked up a high-frequency signal emanating from the center of the mountain.
Frankfurt Studio has always been making the Crysis games. It's been making the Far Cry game before. This is where the first-person shooter skill set lies.
Locate and evacuate.
We've done really realistic games in the past, visually. Sandboxy games where you can freely pick your path and walk through the environment and be creative in it. And we try to go more in this direction.
Keep the same name, same sort of setting and era, but the game would essentially be rebooted from the beginning.
That is a hard decision to make, and that was not one we did very lightly. You have to match the project with the team. And if the team brings a certain amount of skill set, but the project requires a different skill set, either you need to now adapt to that, which means you need to hire specialists that fill the gap, or retrain people, or you change the project. And we opted for changing the project.
What we wanted to achieve with Hunt in the long term was sustained tension for players so that they are never really sure quite what is going to happen.
It's an anticipation. You're out there in the woods, you're alone in the dark, the environment seems to be a threat to you, you hear things, but you don't know what it is.
Hunt is not necessarily a game that relies on jump scares. It is not a linear horror experience. You have to think about it more as a game where you and your friend rely on your senses. Did I hear anything? Did I see any movement?
A large important part of the game is the fear of loss.
Someone might be watching me right now. If I take this one wrong step, I'm going to lose everything.
You're trying to look for something, you don't know what's around you, and if you step on a twig, you're fucked, man. Something's going to happen.
The game is set basically at the last half of the 19th century, primarily in Louisiana. We have a large open world map. Players can pick a number of targets that they want to try to track down.
You can decide on the fly how you want to play the mission. Do you go in for a particular target? Do you want to kill all targets? Are you there only to hunt the players?
For example, it's a valid strategy to let one team do the work, and you can stalk them along and wait until they get the reward from the mission, try to take it off them.
In our game, you can play it in any way you want to, but normally reckless players are dead players.
You will face AI enemies. At the same time, you will face all the players. Your decision, your actions in the game will be either beneficial for you, if you are quiet, if you're carefully about your steps, or can create a lot of danger to you.
Be very, very quiet and tell if you're flashback.
The bosses have left traces in the maps, and that means that also people are looking for the same tracks and they're going after the same stuff, and you're going to encounter other players there.
You're way too visible now. Get some cover.
You're trying to follow the track of the boss you're hunting down, and all of a sudden you're hearing that thing that sticks out that you know is not AI.
So you see birds rising up somewhere. Maybe player triggered them. You hear some distant gunshots. You see some flashes in the woods.
And that is the moment where you go like, okay, buddy, there's a player. I heard somebody reloading. Somebody's fiddling with some lock. Somebody's opening a gate. Somebody walked too close to some dog kennel. There's somebody around me and I don't know where it is.
So the resupply center is over here.
Your voice is casted out in a proximity around you. So if you're too far away from your partner, suddenly they can't hear you. If you're too close to an enemy, suddenly they can.
And the most scary moments of this game is when I'm in some dark bush, bush somewhere, and I'm hiding around, and I'm just hearing people moving, talking. And I don't want to move. If I make the wrong call, I'm dead immediately.
We have like this concept of the darkness. It's like a detective mode, a dark side mode, where you can kind of see like the weird things happening in the world.
It's a bit like Star Wars, when you can feel the Force, right? Because you can see things in the environment. It's going to benefit you on your way to track the monsters. So you're actually at the boss. It's the boss fight.
All right, man. The spider's gonna be in here.
Then you have the kill and the banishing phase. The banishing phase is a defensive mission, and it takes a little bit of time to open a portal to hell and send the boss back, which will send a signal to the whole map. Somebody is doing something over there. We call it the hunter becomes the hunted.
Dogs spot. There's a guy coming in the southwest, I think.
The boss will leave a token, which you will take up. Now you need to get the fuck out of dodge.
Quick, the other guys are still behind us.
I take off my headphones after a play session, and I'm just, you know, I'm looking around and I'm catching my breath.
We're here with Magnus and Chris, and we're going to be talking about Hunt Showdown.
This is the kind of game that I enjoy playing, and I think that's probably the best situation to be in when you're working on something.
Being able to work on the product you'd really like to play yourself day in and out. This is a great opportunity.
This game was all about gameplay. It was gameplay first from day one on, and we played very ugly looking maps that were just gray boxes most of the time until it was fun.
When you talk about your game and then you say it will be intense, it will be risk-reward and stuff like that, yeah, that's what producers and people say, right, when they do a game. But seeing people that are not Crytek, and you will hear a lot of people saying, fuck, and like, dude, and what the fuck?
Well, how can I play this? I want to play this.
There's nothing quite like it out there. I mean, it's from somebody who plays a lot of games. I mean, this is a unique game.
Crytek has a reputation for these visual things and the visual fidelity and stuff, but everybody here is a gamer. So within the team, there couldn't be more agreement upon making a fun game.
Achieved with CryEngine.